The partner of Republican Representative and Jim Crow defender Byron Donalds posted this romantic Valentine's message. This is Erika Donalds, who says, remembering the spot where Byron Donalds asked for my number in the Oglesby Student Union at Florida State in the fall of 1999. Our first date came a few months later on Valentine's Day 2000. Thanks, babe, for making all 27 of our Valentine's days together so special. And that is a sweet throwback photo, right? That they have the photo, that they can reminisce on all the time they've spent together. Little problem though. Is it actually sweet, or is it at best bittersweet? Because some people have done some digging and they've found that it's actually a slightly more complicated picture vis-a-vis romance than it might seem from that photo. So Web Sleuths saw the date there because this is very specific, that image. It's not just the image. It's that they got together originally in fall of 1999. They had a date, Valentine's Day 2000. Okay, well, based on that, let's go through the personal history of Byron Donalds. Because as Mehdi Hassan points out, in saying that she just tweeted out these dates, given it's a matter of public record, that he was married to his first wife at the time, just married in fact. He had been married not that many months before he met her and they had their first kiss or whatever, and then began dating just a few months after that. He was a married man. So look, I guess he's even more into romantic love than most, that he wants to have two halves of it, I guess. But that is kind of a serious thing. And that's not just speculation, by the way. That's not just Wikipedia. Public records confirm that Donalds married Bisa Hall June 19th, 1999, approximately 3 months before he allegedly approached his current wife at that university building in the photo. The congressman divorced Hall several years later and then married Erika Lees like a couple months after that. But the relationship he'd had, because she said they had 27 Valentines together, she's laying out that they were together for all of that time. So he was apparently cheating on his wife for multiple years before divorcing her and then marrying his mistress at that time. Is that romantic? I don't know. Maybe if you were to word it carefully, it could be one of those interstitials from When Harry Met Sally, but first blush, it doesn't seem exactly what the spirit of the holiday is supposed to be. And by the way, Hall has previously described how the couple married primarily so she could qualify for cheaper in-state college tuition through his Florida residency. They didn't live together as a traditional married couple. Now, you just take a look at that and you think, okay, well then maybe it's not as bad that he was cheating on her, because they didn't actually get married because they were in love and wanted to be together. They got married for some sort of benefit. And I can understand that. In-state tuition is much cheaper. Again, I would then say throwing out accusations of other people getting married for some sorts of benefits or whatever kind of feels like a little bit hypocritical at that point when Byron Donalds and other Republicans do it. But sure, that could be it. Except early in their marriage, Hall said that divorce discussions arose, but Donalds rejected the idea, saying, no, I don't want to lose my wife, making it seem as if this was not just a transactional contract sort of thing. He was committed to her. I mean, he was evidently having an affair when he said that, but he did want to maintain his connection to both of these women. Now, Hall was apparently devastated until roughly a year later when Donalds broke up with his affair partner. So she found out about the affair, but later he broke up and decided to commit to his wife, I guess. He said, Erika and I have split up and I want to give it another chance. I want my wife back. Okay, that's good. But then she was left disappointed again when Lees revealed a pregnancy and Donalds demanded an expedited divorce. So he decided to dump his mistress to be with his wife, except that his mistress was pregnant, maybe had already been impregnated by the time he dumped her, or maybe he just maintained the affair anyway, I don't know. And then decided, actually I want that kid. I'm gonna divorce you after all. So look, this is his personal life or whatever, I don't particularly care. He's said political things that bother me far more than any of this personal stuff, but I don't know, I just feel, considering how judgy the right can be about relationships and what marriage is supposed to look like and be like. Bear in mind, they're once again trying to reinvigorate a push to outlaw gay marriage. I kind of feel like you could get your own ducks in a row before you start going around controlling other people's relationships, because whatever this is, and maybe this all makes sense from his point of view and it's their own personal lives and they're just doing their best, But from an outsider's perspective, it kind of looks like you didn't mean any of the stuff about marriage and you're just trying to kind of doing whatever you want and going for whatever you want. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, there's some other stuff that she had to say, the first wife had to say about Byron Donalds. Evidently, he was not a lifelong conservative as he has pitched himself to be. Apparently wasn't very political and just eventually decided that's what I'm gonna be. And he invented an alter ego for himself where he's this super conservative black man, according to her. So that's interesting. We've seen that before with people like JD Vance. Anyway, if he becomes nationally relevant, we can jump into all of those details. For now, though, I'll just leave it with the Valentine stuff, which is a bit icky.